Hey everyone, Michael Strickland here. Just wanted to give you guys a quick update on my case here. There's been a new development here. As many of you may be aware of the violence that took place in Portland last week. It's July 10th, 2019 today. On June 29th, a week and a half ago, there was, of course, big melees in downtown Portland. Several people were injured by a bunch of Antifa thugs. And as you can imagine, I've been quite vocal about all of that on Twitter. At LaughAtLibs is my Twitter account. For those of you who don't know, I was the news journalist who was out covering a protest on July 7th, 2016, when I was attacked by a gang of these thugs, and I acted to defend myself against them, and I was the one eventually charged and convicted of multiple felonies, while the violent thugs who started the fight are considered to be the innocent victims. So on Monday of last week, I guess that would have been July 1st, I guess that would have been, there was a bomb threat at Portland City Hall, and City Hall had to be evacuated. And I commented on the Police Bureau thread about that. And I went on to talk about the person who I believe to be a suspect, who could very easily be a suspect in a bomb threat towards City Hall. He was one of the ones who perpetrated the assaultive behavior on me when I was attacked by a gang of these thugs. This particular individual has a history of issuing bomb threats, conveying false information to police and law enforcement, in the courts and law enforcement, and intimidating and attacking people and journalists and activists on the street, which is all true. So I have made many tweets about this particular individual over the last 2 years, and he's been featured in several videos here. And my objective in doing that is to make sure that the public is aware of this particular individual's violent, dangerous, intimidating tactics. So no one else becomes victimized by him. No one else is put into a position where they have to defend themselves. No one else inadvertently commits crimes while defending themselves against him. So I got a call or an email from my probation officer on short notice that she wanted to meet with me. So I met with her today, and she said I have two choices. Number one, I could sign a thing saying agreeing to new stipulations of my probation that I will not mention the victims in my case by name in anything. Victims being the people who perpetrated the assaultive behavior against me. She told me I could either agree to that or go before the judge and let the judge decide. She is trying to claim that this is a violation of my probation orders. Part of my probation orders are no contact with the victims, no personal direct contact. And I've abided by that. I don't want to have contact with these people. I hope I never see these people again. But there's nothing in there about not mentioning them by name in news stories, news articles, tweets, videos, things like that. So she's also trying to claim that me talking about him and mentioning his name, notice I've been refraining from using his name in this video because I don't want to tick off the probation officer. I don't want to tick off the court. So right now I'm being a good little boy right now and not mentioning his name. So my probation officer is also trying to claim that this is psychological abuse by mentioning that he might be a suspect in a crime and mentioning his name in tweets on Twitter. Now, she gave me a whole list of definitions of what psychological abuse is. Most of it involves, domestic violence situations, things like that. Interestingly enough, one of the definitions of psychological abuse is using one's size, strength, and power to intimidate and threaten another individual. That's exactly what this particular guy, whose name I'm not mentioning, did to me when he took part in the mob attack when he led the mob to physically attack me in the streets. So I didn't think there was anything in her definition sheet there of what psychological abuse is. So I asked her for some clarification. And I said, can you please point to the part of this that you think constitutes a psychological abuse? And she pointed towards the very last line in the whole thing that says something along the lines of, these are just some of the definitions. There could be other definitions. So she's very, very vaguely trying to define this, even though I don't think I've committed anything. If I have violated anything, then it's certainly not been my intention to do so. I've done everything possible to not violate anything that they've ordered me to do, even things that I disagree with. I challenge those through the proper channels. I don't go out and blatantly defy them and then try to claim how I'm right. So, rather than sign my rights away and agree to a further First Amendment restrictions on me, I opted to go see the judge. So she handed me this thing here. It's a citation to appear. On August 14th, 2019, she claims that I violated the conditions of my supervision and that a report will be filed against me. So I am required to appear at 8:30 a.m. on August 14th, 2019 at the Multnomah County Courthouse. That is 1021 Southwest 4th Avenue. And the judge will decide if me tweeting the names of the people who perpetrated the attack on me is a violation of my orders or not. I don't think it is. Now, if the judge wants to order me to not mention their names, then I'll abide by that, because whereas I may disagree with some of the things that the courts have done, again, I'm not going to go out and blatantly disrespect them and defy them. It is possible that the judge could find me in violation and chuck me back in jail. He could, add on 2 more years of probation. He could, I don't know, there's a wide variety of things that the judge could do here. So I chatted with a few different attorneys, and I think the one that I'm going to hire from this is out of Central Oregon. I'm holding off on his name right now, but some of you might know who I'm talking about. He's based out of Central Oregon. I chatted with him on the phone, and he says he doesn't think that I've violated anything. Again, because my orders are to have no personal or direct contact with them, and I haven't done that. I don't know if I have the money for that. I have some money. Some money's been raised. For the most part, we've been up to speed with all the legal bills. So, I haven't been making too much of a push for that. But I do have my own legal fund on PayPal, stricklandlegalfund@gmail.com. If some of you could chip in a few bucks, that would really help out. Please use the family and friends option there on PayPal, so they don't take out a percentage of the money. And I'll consider you my friend. Oregon Firearms Federation, who raised all the initial funds when all of this started happening. You can probably still donate through them. Just make sure you put in the notes there that this money is for Michael Strickland. Again, anything helps out. $5 helps out, $2 helps out. So this particular attorney doesn't think that I violated anything, and he said that this initial thing here is just sort of a preliminary violation thing, and that what happens now is that this goes to the district attorneys, and the district attorneys will review this and decide if they want to proceed with going before the judge and arguing that this is a violation. So the district attorneys may elect to not do that, in which case I have nothing to worry about. And then anyone who donates, I'll either refund you, or that's money that can be spent for other legal crap that's going to come up through all of this. I've thousands upon thousands upon thousands of dollars of legal bills have stacked up through this whole ordeal with me. What's interesting here, another interesting thing, is that I've been mentioning these guys' names in videos and tweets for 2+ years now, ever since that gag rule was lifted on me, and I was able to start posting the videos of the actual incident that had been previously ordered as sealed evidence by the judge. So I did post a video early on in that, chronicling this particular individual who tried to get the violent masked mob to attack another journalist in the street. And I sort of did an analysis of that, and my probation officer at the time called me to say that he thinks it might be a violation. At first he was trying to say that I was down there filming the protest, which I'm currently banned from. So I was saying, no, it's just someone else's video. So then he's trying to say that I was having contact with the victims. I'm like, no, I wasn't anywhere there. I don't want contact with him. My comments about these individuals have not been directed towards them. They've been about them, and they've been entirely factual. And then he's trying to say, oh, this is harassing the victims. I'm like, again, all I'm doing is talking about what happened. So he was trying to say that was a violation, And so about a month after that, I got transferred to a different probation officer. And I asked for further clarification on that. Is this a violation? You know, am I banned from posting videos again? Am I banned from talking about the incident? And this probation officer said, no, I looked at everything there. There's no violation. You don't have anything to worry about. So that's the standard that I've been using since then, is that it's all right to talk about the people who were involved in this, as long as I am not having contact with them or encouraging third-party contact with them, that I'm in the clear. That's the standard I've been using. Hopefully I don't get tossed back in jail. If you're new to my channel, check out the other videos here on Laughing at Liberals on YouTube. The past pile of videos have mainly dealt with what happened to me from July 7th, 2016, from defending myself against these violent thugs. But before then, I used to be a video news journalist. I covered a lot of political events in the area, especially ones that mainstream media weren't covering, and I would just post news videos for the most part. So, you know, apparently standing in a public area holding a video camera is grounds to be attacked by a mob of thugs and forcibly removed from the area. And that's all right with the judges, police, and DAs. So again, thank you for watching, and hopefully I don't end up in jail.